Hey, greetings, Dromund Ka clan folk. Pete the King here with another war recap video. We had a pretty solid war against a clan called I think they were called Zombie Extreme. So we're gonna look at the replays from that up here on our war log. We've got a 4-war winning streak going now, and we had some good 3 stars. Um, this was not the most competitive war in the world, but this was a war we got after having won 3 wars. We've got a really tough matchup now, so we're gonna be looking forward to that today. So here's the first one. This was my attack on base 4. This was a cleanup attack. This was pretty much a prototypical mass Valk raid where I put an EQ down, earthquake spell down to open up the core. I made 2 mistakes here, and I still pulled it off because partially I got lucky and partially I bailed myself out. So here, I lured the clan castle. It's a lurable CC, which is nice. Put a bunch of wizards on the dragon and the loons, and I forget to put the wizards up on the dragon on the north. I'm sorry, up on the golem on the north to create the funnel. Basically, forget to drop wizards up there, and then drop the earthquake spells. See the golem walk in and think, oh, I'm good to go. So I put down the king and the Valks, and they're headed off to the north, which would mean a failed raid. And I quickly dropped some wizards to finish the job. Unfortunately, there was a gap there, and they turned around and headed into the middle. And at this point, what I did right was I waited for a little bit until, like, basically I put my first heal when they were in the core. So heal up here in the core. At this point, you've got 3 rows going of attackers. You got the king, the Valks, and the archer queen. Now I put a heal because they're kind of stuck on a wall. So when they're stuck on a wall, they can get picked off. So I put the second heal here, and I dropped some hogs up at 12 o'clock because there's a cannon beating on my barbarian king. So what you're going to see here is I drop my 3 hogs come in to do a special guest appearance to take out that cannon. Meanwhile, everybody else is making the way around the base because there's basically no compartments in this base once you open up the core. Somebody thought it was a good idea to have a base with no compartments. So this raid is really not that close. After having made some pretty dumb mistakes, I was able to clean them up, drop my cleanup troops, and we're moving on to the next 3-star. So that's a prototypical mass Valk. Second is the attack that was on my number. This is more of a GoVaHo, where just because of the number of compartments in the base and kind of where I thought the double giant bomb spots were, I brought 7 Valks, including 3 Max, and then 18 hogs, including one that I used to try to lure unsuccessfully. Here, I was able to feel a little bit better about not luring the CC because I had 2 poison spells. And so here the CC comes out, drop the 2 poison spells, create the funnel. I think it's really important to drop the wizards quickly and in the right place. And when you do that and create the right funnel, there's a nice funnel here now, and the Valks basically start heading in towards the middle, and I drop the CC Valks. What's interesting here is that they take a turn because I think I cleared out too much of the middle. So one of the buildings on the side was luring them in. So drop my first heal on the outside because there are not many Valks and they're getting the crap pounded out of them. So had to heal them on their way to the core, and then heal them in the core. And at that point, once they're in the core and the defenses are pointed inward, the hogs have got to go, and I send the hogs in. And then I drop a heal, which hits both the Valks and the hogs coming up to that expo. I think my goal was that the expo takes some time. So get the heal on there. Then hogs make their way around. Now, if there's a double giant bomb here, it's probably not great. I might still get a 3-star, but there's not a double giant bomb, and so the hogs are able to move to the next defense and take out the wizard tower. and they take out this archer tower. I'm sorry, air defense. And at this point, the raid's pretty much over because there's only one defense left. And I've got some Golemites, the Queen, and 3 max Valks and a Wizard. So at this point, when you see a raid where there's only one defense and you've got a bunch of different options to take it out, that's good. So combination of some skill and some luck, and able to get that 3-star. So let's move to the next attack against the interestingly named base Thomas is Gay. Wonder what the story behind that base name is. And this is Pono. Pono's doing a mass Valk, where what he does is bring 16 Valks, and he brings a max Golem in the clan castle, which is that's an interesting choice. He's got 4 heal spells and 2 poisons. And what he does here is, the reason he can not have to bring a jump spell is that the way the base is structured, he creates just a really wide funnel. Interestingly, he drops a Valk down there at like 9 o'clock to help with creating the funnel. And my wife is calling attention to the fact there's dogs running loose in the neighborhood, which is important. So at this point, the wizards have created the funnel, and that means the Valks can just go into the base. And he's got 4 heals, and the Valks are in the core, and he didn't have to do a jump spell because he created a funnel. So he puts his second heal on in the core, and he's got his king used his ability. Queen has not yet used her ability. She's probably going to soon because she's getting hit with that wizard tower. But at this point, again, what you have with a successful mass Valk raid is basically different lines of attack moving through the base. Now I'm assuming, yep, he put in the Queen's ability. She's probably not going to make it. She goes down, but at this point, he's got a lot of Valks, which is good, and he's got 1 heal, which is critical. If he doesn't have that next heal, those Valks are going to be in trouble. But they come in, and even though they're getting the crap pounded out of them by the defenses on the outside, he's got that last heal, and that's the difference maker there. They set off the bomb. At this point, there's only 1 point defense left. Of course, they just love those high hit point buildings, so they decide to take out a collector or and he's got the 3-star. So there you go. It's hard to fast forward these attacks because you have to kind of see the whole attack to know what's going to happen. It's not like a hog attack where there's a bunch of trash buildings at the end. So we've got another same theme song here from Tactician. We've got a mass Valk attack, and I think he's going to do the same thing, where he just does a nice job of creating a funnel by bringing extra wizards. He's still got 7 more wizards left. And so he's creating a funnel, and because of the way this base is designed, where once that dark elixir drill goes down, the closest buildings, those Valks are going to move right towards those. I'm assuming the Valks are coming soon. Oh, well, he's waiting to, wisely, waiting to drop the Valks until he takes care of the CC. Because, yeah, you don't want Valks under a dragon. That would be bad. So at this point, he's got 3 heals left, and he's got Valks running through the base. It's interesting in these attacks. Valks are, as we all know, they're a little unpredictable. But he's got 3 heals. He's used 2 of them, and at this point, if I was watching this attack, I kind of wonder whether this attack was going to work or not. He just lost a bunch of Valks to a spring trap, which is unfortunate. But what happens here is, and what happens in these raids is, he's still got, he dropped a, what was that, a cleanup hog? So what's interesting here is that he's got, that Golem is critical because the Golem is going to do a lot of tanking. So the Golem almost acts like a heal spell. He puts his queen's ability, and I think once this expo goes down at this point, Tactician's probably feeling pretty good because he's still got both heroes up. He's got a golem, and he's got 2 Valks. So this attack is and he's got some wizards doing cleanup, which is key. So queen goes down. The golem is tanking like a beast, and he's got wizards coming around the corner. This is going to be a little close, as are some of these mass Valk raids with a base like this. So this is a raid where great raid by Tactician, a good choice. I'd say it's a higher risk attack, but it paid off. Okay, so here's the 3-star from Forek. He's doing the more conventional now for us. This is pretty much our go-to attack, which is 4 hogs, 2 golems. Interesting, he's creating like a super wide funnel. And 2 hogs. I'm sorry, 4 hogs. So he's got the CC is down there, and he has some wizards take it out, which is cool. Drops the jump spell. Interesting that he sends in the hogs early. So the hogs are almost working side by side at this point with the Valks to help clear out a part of the base. So the Valks are almost like, wow, that hog stays alive a long time, which is interesting. So he's got 1 more heal left. And he's going to need it. He's got, at this point, his queen is still alive. His queen is down at 6 o'clock. She takes out the expo. At this point in this attack, he's probably feeling pretty good because once that expo goes down, these bases, once you gut the core, once the core goes out, and then you've just got point defenses that are on the outside, like right now, it's pretty much over because those defenses are pretty accessible by the queen, and they're just outnumbered. So he's got Valks, he's got his queen, and he's got the golems that are doing the tanking for the queen. And so the golems play kind of a critical role here. In fact, watching this attack makes me sort of rethink the strategy I'm going to use in the next war, because this is such a strong attack. The golems are key, though. Let's not. And we've had a lot of success bringing 2 golems. I saw Clash with Ash was using 1 golem, or a lot of the attacks he was showing was using 1 golem, but 2 golems seems to be the trick. So this might seem boring to you, but for me, I'm sort of learning by sort of watching other people doing these attacks, and so. We've got another mass Valk raid here. And again, what's interesting is that Tactician is doing a similar thing. So it's a lurable CC, which is great. It's so nice when you can lure the CC. Puts down the poison. Puts down the second poison. He's got a ton of wizards. And the wizards are creating the funnel. And now at this point, there's a good funnel. There's basically, if you've got 2 buildings down in either direction, he sends the Valks in, and he's got 4 heals. And I think, and so he puts his first heal down, which is a good idea. And the first expo goes down. The expos are kind of, I always view the expos as being critical things you have to account for. Second heal in the core, which is always a good idea in these attacks. So the golems are kind of lumbering along, kind of trailing behind. And what happens is, in these attacks, and then his third heal, his fourth heal. So at this point, where is he at with his heroes? So his heroes are up. And at this point, what's interesting is the golems, because they're still up and they're still alive, wow, he's got a lot of Valks still left. This is not the strongest base, obviously. I mean, this is, there was like a level 5 archer tower or something. But he just got a lot of troops, and at this point, it's just a numbers game. He just outnumbered these defenses, and he's encircling them. It's really the key is once you take out the core defenses and you get the point defenses just on the edge, and you still got a lot of troops left, you're in good shape. So that's kind of making, again, watching these attacks. And here's Retiv, and thank goodness we've got a different kind of attack. Retiv is going to go with a GoLaloon. So, which is cool. And what's going to happen here is I think Retiv, you can see what kind of a raid he's got, which is, I'm assuming he's got a lava hound in the clan castle. He's only got 2 lava hounds. There's 4 defenses on this base. He's bringing 4 rage spells. So, nope, it's a max golem. So he must be trying to take out, I'm assuming here what we're going to see is that he's going to be taking out 2 air defenses, or at least that's what the goal is with his kill squad. So he's got the 2 golems, and that king is probably going to be wandering around the outside of the base. Because the kings are so intelligent. So one of his rage spells he drops on his kill squad, which is a good idea. Because if you don't get the job done and kill the air defenses. So what's interesting here is that he just overwhelms these air defenses with balloons and lava hounds. And what's interesting is that he eventually, I think his kill squad gets to that air defense. But it's interesting the timing on the raid, because I think he wisely, these raids are all about timing, as you know, in case you didn't know already. With Clash of Clans, everything's about timing and raids, and sending in the troops fast was kind of important because he was trusting his kill squad was going to get the job done. If he waited until his kill squad had taken out that second AD, it would have been too late. So it was smart to get the loons going. Plus, loons are so freaking slow. So really nice GoLaloon attack by Retiv on number 11. So we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do one more. We're going to do one more, and then this video is going to be good to go. So it's another mass Valk attack. And once again, creating a funnel. This base does not have a lot of compartments. I'm accelerating this movie because we've kind of seen some of these attacks. But it's useful to watch how they unfold, and it's really all about the heals. Here he's got a heal where his first 2 heals are basically in the core, and then his 3rd heal, and then at this point the core is gutted, and it's just a numbers game. And at this point he's got all his heroes are up. Revan's heroes are up, rather, and this base is going to get gutted. A lot of trash buildings left, so we're going to accelerate the replay, and nice job. So nice job by Revan, and that's the video. So it's all Valks all the time, except for Retiv, which brought us a GoLaloon attack, but this is where the game is at right now. So nice job, everybody. We've got a tough war coming up today against a level 10 clan with some solid anti 3-star bases, so let's go get them. This is Pete the King.